In an age of auto-tune and fleeting digital fame, where algorithms dictate what we hear, one voice cuts through the noise like a ghost from a bygone era. It's thin, it trembles, but it's devastatingly real. It's the voice of Willie Nelson. His recordings, some made half a century ago, feel like they were laid down yesterday. This isn't just nostalgia, it's the mark of enduring, unshakable artistry. Think about it. On Spotify, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain has over 180 million streams. Go to YouTube and you'll find grainy, fan-shot videos with hundreds of millions of views. The comments tell the whole story. I'm 23 and this destroyed me. I don't even like country music. But this is soul. He's singing about my breakup. This is the miracle of Willie Nelson. He transcends genre, generation, and geography. His music isn't just classic country. It's classic emotion, universal, unfiltered, and undeniable. In a world where we all curate these perfect, glossy lives on social media, Willie's raw honesty is a revelation. He never hid his pain. He stood on stage and sang about it. And in doing so, he gave us all permission to stop pretending. His voice doesn't need enhancement or a slick remix. It simply is. And that's its power. For decades, something remarkable has been happening in quiet rooms across the country. Therapists, grief counselors, and even hospice workers have used Willie Nelson's music as a tool. Not to cheer people up, not to offer easy solutions, but to do something far more profound, to validate sorrow. A 2021 study in the Journal of Music Therapy found that patients dealing with heartbreak responded more deeply to Willie than to any other artist. One woman, grieving a divorce, said, "I played Always on My Mind every night for a month. Okay, I didn't want to feel better. I wanted to feel like I wasn't crazy for missing him. Willie made me feel sane." Another man, battling loneliness, found solace in Angel flying too close to the ground. He said, "It's like he walked into my life and sang about what he saw." This is what true art does. It doesn't distract us from our pain. It bears witness to it. Willie never sang to fix people. He sang to say, "I see you. I've been there. You're not alone." He became the accidental therapist for a nation, his voice a form of sonic empathy. Willie's influence isn't just in our headphones. It's woven into the very fabric of American pop culture. Remember Tony Soprano driving, lost in thought, with Crazy playing on the radio? That was a moment of quiet, complex male introspection, courtesy of Willie. In Orange is the New Black, a character sings on the road again in a prison talent show, turning heartbreak into defiant humor. Even in The Crown, Princess Diana finds a moment of connection listening to his music. A lonely princess finding solace in the voice of a Texas outlaw. His image is just as iconic. The bandana, the braids, the simple denim shirt. Tits pure Americana. Designers like Ralph Lauren have cited him as a muse for that rugged, timeless style. He rejected the rhinestones and gimmicks, and in doing so, influenced everyone from Chris Stapleton to Post Malone. Even his ranch in Luck, Texas, has become a pilgrimage site. It's a shrine to a man who turned his private sanctuary into a public celebration of music and life. Willie Nelson didn't write all of his famous songs, but he was a genius interpreter. He could take a lyric and turn it into a visceral, personal confession. Think of the opening to Always on My Mind. Maybe I did untreat you quite as good as I should have. It's not a song, it's an apology, delivered with such quiet intimacy it feels like a secret between two people. Or the haunting lines of Yesterday when I was young. There are so many things I would have done, but I didn't tee when I was young. It's a quiet meditation on regret, not angry or dramatic, just profoundly sad. These songs are masterpieces of minimalism. They're spare in language but overflowing with emotion. Willie's voice, weathered and knowing, gives every word its weight. He mastered the poetics of heartbreak, not with flowery language, but with stark, simple truth. Willie's recordings are more than just music. They are cultural artifacts. They are a national archive documenting the emotional life of working-class America in the 20th century. The love, the marriage, the heartbreak, the quiet endurance. His voice chronicles the evolution of country music, from honky-tonk to outlaw to Americana. Historians studying the emotional landscape of modern America will need to listen to Willie Nelson. The Library of Congress even recognized this, adding his albums to the National Recording Registry, deeming them culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. His voice is the sound of the American soul. But for all the sorrow in his songs, Willie Nelson was a man who knew joy. He had a wicked sense of humor and a genuine love for life. He'd dance on stage, trade jokes with Johnny Cash, and light up when playing upbeat anthems like On the Road Again or the foot-stomping Whiskey River. Friends described him as funny, sharp, and full of life. This duality, the heartbroken troubadour and the joyful father, is what made him so human. He wasn't just a vessel for our pain. He was a man who laughed, loved, and lived, even when it hurt. And that legacy of life in music flows directly into his family. His sons, Lucas and Micah, are both incredibly talented musicians in their own right. Lucas, with his band Promise of the Real, and Micah, as Particle Kid, carry that torch of authenticity. As Lucas once said, "My dad wasn't perfect, but he was real, and he loved us." That's what matters. His children are the living embodiment of his spirit, ensuring his music and his story are told with the respect and integrity they deserve. In his later years, Willie didn't give many interviews. But in one rare radio appearance, he was asked what he wanted people to remember about him. He paused, then said, "That I sang from the heart. That I tried to be honest, and that I loved my kids more than anything." When asked about fame, his answer was simple. "I don't care about being famous. I care about being heard." Simple, humble, profound. That was Willie. Here's something that will blow your mind. In 2024, scientists at the University of Texas launched a project to analyze the emotional resonance of vocalists. They found that Willie Nelson's voice triggered the highest empathy response in listeners. Why? Because his voice contains micro-variations, tiny, almost imperceptible shifts in pitch and tone that perfectly mirror the patterns of human speech during grief. His voice doesn't just sound sad. On a biological level, it behaves like a grieving person. It's the science behind the soul. Willie Nelson wasn't just a singer. He was a biological instrument of empathy. When a voice like that eventually falls silent, the world doesn't just lose a singer. It loses a witness. A man who saw the worst of life's poverty, loss, addiction, and still found the courage to stand on a stage and silence a room with a single, honest note. He proved that truth is always more powerful than perfection. And now, in the quiet that follows, his music remains. It plays in pickup trucks on lonely highways, in nursing homes, at funerals, and at 3 a.m., when someone, somewhere, can't sleep. It plays not just because we miss him, but because we still need him. Willie Nelson may one day pass on, but he will never truly leave. He lives in the worn wood of his guitar trigger. He lives in the silence just before the final note of Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. He lives in the tears of a fan hearing his voice for the first time. He was not a hero or a saint. He was a man broken, brilliant, and brave enough to sing his truth. And in doing so, he became immortal. So play the record. Turn off the lights, close your eyes, and let Willie Nelson sing to you. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into the artists who shape our world. We'll see you next time.